Hey guys, I wanted to do a tips and tricks video for base Goku. This is involving Kaioken. We're just going to be having a quick look at a few things that you may or may have not thought about. The first thing is the times 20 Kaioken. A lot of people say you can't get Oki after this ender. Although you can't get Oki after the ender, you can still meter the opponent with S. I wouldn't call it, I mean it is Oki, but you know a lot of people it's not really Oki. It's not really Oki. It's not really safe Oki either, because obviously they can wake up level 3 with certain level 3s and that'll blow straight through it. But I'll show you a counter to that, and I'll show you the little bit of a mind game that's going on now. So now you've showed the opponent they can't wake up with vanish, they can't wake up jump out. Sometimes you'll even hit them jumping out, you know, trying to chicken block out, because you know, you do get you like there are certain frames on your jump frames where you just not blocking, so that can sometimes happen when you meet you with the 5S if you're doing it a little bit later or a little bit early. I'm not too sure how that works, but you can hit them, so that's something. There's two things. Your opponent's just going to have to sort of tank this 5S in Kaioken, so they're going to reflect, and then that comes in like the second 50-50 of this is, are you just going to 5S or are you just going to command grab? And this is a legitimate use for his command grab going out of Kaioken, because they're not going to be able to know or react to it, so it's just a 50-50 on their wake up. They know they can't jump out now. This is totally legit. Like, they can't react to the command grab. Well, you know, maybe they can if they do nothing, if they just sit and block, because that's the other thing that they can do is block. But let's be honest, if you're playing online, nobody's blocking. But let's talk about like a legitimate opponent. They are going to block, and then you get the follow-ups from that. So let's say the opponent, you're just testing him, you want to play it safe, and they block. You can just go into a Kaioken series, you know, and you can try and mix them up that way. But the main thing that I would say is, after you hit them with the 5S, I did S then, you're going to want to go into light more often than not. The light won't frame trap against vanish from this far out of the corner, but it'll stop them, it'll kind of keep them grounded from jumping. If they're constantly jumping, what I like to do is I go S, L, and then 2L, because that'll also hit them jumping, and then hopefully they stop jumping, or they don't vanish out, then I'll go up for the cross up. Now once you've conditioned your opponent to stop jumping as well, you can go straight for just the cross up. Now even if they're in the corner, this is going to cross up. It's actually a really effective cross up in the corner, and it is reactable. It's definitely blockable. But you know, if they're sort of sat there, they're waiting and they're blocking, you can still even just go for 5S into command grab, and hopefully that'll land as well. And these things do hit people. You know, even the best of players, you will get them with these mix-ups. So it is one of those things. The other thing that I wanted to just sort of brush on lightly was reversals in the corner. Now this isn't necessarily specific to times 20 ender, but if you get your opponent close enough to the corner and they wake up, of course I missed it out, and they wake up with a sort of a DP reversal or a level 3 reversal, as long as the level 3 isn't an AoE level 3, what I mean by that is it doesn't go behind them, you can just full combo punish reversals with his Kaioken. And this is with a read on M. If you just do S, what'll happen is they'll eat the S, that they'll like sort of tank it, and they won't get affected by it, and you'll go into the recovery state of Kaioken, which is possibly punishable. So you want to be extra careful about that. But it is one of the things to notice. If you've got a read on your opponent, you think they're going to wake up level 3, and they're a Teen Gohan, which, you know, it might happen. Definitely sort of it's kind of like big brain reads, but if you want to go for it, it's a cross up as well, so it might even mix them on their wake up. You can do this, and you'll just blow straight through it and get a full combo punish because it hits them in the back. So there's another thing to kind of work around. The other thing, and again, this is moving on to like super, I wouldn't say niche, but it's kind of interesting. Now this is doing a safe jump into Kaioken, and obviously that wasn't safe. Let's do it again. And from there going into M. And now you don't have to do M, and sometimes you can even do the S and it will hit them. It just depends on, you know, what point they're at in the active frames of the DP. Let's see if I go for S here, yeah, it beats me out. But if you definitely want to hit them, you can go for a pretty high damaging follow-up that will pretty much always hit. And that's just the right bumper version. And it'll just always go through it. It's like a DP in itself. It's like his upwards kick. It's like a DP. Now, if you want to know what that input is for Kaioken, it's R1 or it's light medium together, and you just get that follow-up. You get like the end of follow-up instantly. And you can use that against things like DPs. He's not invincible against DPs, but you have to use it, you have to lab it. It's such a weird interaction. It will just beat out some moves. Like level 3s, there's a chance you'll just beat them straight out. It's not guaranteed or anything like that, but I don't know if this will work. Yeah, I mean, look at that. And again, I don't think that'll work mid-screen. I'm pretty sure it doesn't work mid-screen. I'll do the same thing again. Oh no, it's a bit more delay than that. I don't think it'll work mid-screen, but in the corner it definitely works. Oh no, it works mid-screen as well. So as you can see, you're not going to do that as a Yomi against level 3s. But if you're against a character that's got a Kamehameha beam, and you're like sort of trying to do this and stuff, and you think they're just beaming, this is a huge. I think one of the biggest struggles at lower levels in this game is dealing with somebody who's just spamming Kamehameha, spamming beam assist, spamming long range assist. If you're playing base Goku and they're doing that, you can just go into Kaioken. You can just comfortably go into the kick up, and you can get some pretty strong damage from just doing that. It's almost half their life just from doing that for 3 bars. And let's be honest, in this game, like, meter isn't exactly a difficult thing to come across. The last sort of tips and tricks that I'm going to go through, besides of using this as a reversal and things like that, is you can use it against super dash as well. So if they're super dashing at you, one of the options you've got is 2H. But if you're not too confident in your 2Hs, or you just feel like it, you can definitely counter with that. You can, even if they're far enough away, counter with S. If you want like a bit of a longer follow-up. So it's not just Kamehamehas, it's super dashes. You can do it against Ki Blasts and certain things like that, but the one thing I will mention about that is they can vanish. You are trading a bar for a bar though, especially in an anchor situation. A bar for a bar is not bad at all, but just be aware that it full punishes certain things like unsafe specials, super dashes, and Kamehamehas because they can't vanish out. But if they're just jumping around doing Ki Blasts and stuff, it's not as effective because they can just vanish, and that's just how that is. Oh yeah, that's a good point as well. So let's say you go for the level 1 ender to try and like reverse or something, and you just want to just stop someone mashing or anything like that. If they block it, remember it's a level 1 at the end of the day, so you can just go into another super. Now, Blue Vegeta is a terrible super for an example for this, but if you've got a character with a particularly safe super, I'm thinking someone like Yamcha, it's a pretty good sort of neutral checker. You can just tag out and tag into something a little bit safer, or you can even, because a lot of people on reaction to I think 16s is quite safe as well. A lot of people will press super dash or press something on reaction to it. It's not foolproof, there are a million ways out of it. It's not Swiss cheese, but I'm just saying, just to kind of like double down, as a high risk sort of maneuver, it's almost like a DP. You can call in another super to try and sort of almost cheap them out a little bit if they're not respecting too badly or they don't get the right counter. Is there anything that I've missed? The one thing, maybe this is just something I'm just going to put in here because some people don't know. I certainly didn't know right at the start. Okay, I'm just going to do a very, very basic combo, no loops or anything because I don't want to waste you guys' time. If you go into punch, if you go into light and then 2 medium, and then S, you can meaty with his auto combo. and that is legit. That will counter hit Vanish if you do it correctly, but you have to go essentially into 2M into S, and that gives them the height that's required for that to work. And I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. The other thing that I would mention, especially if you've got times 20 available, even any of them available, but mostly times 20. If you're in neutral, you know, if you're on the ground and you're doing beams and stuff like that, don't be afraid to just hit confirm straight into Kaioken. His shoulder charges as well, things like that. It's not like, use Kaioken a lot, because even if it's on block and you block confirm it, you can still mix up off of Kaioken. Now it's true that they can vanish out, but a top trick in the corner is you can jail, this all jails into 5S, and then once 5S happens it doesn't jail. But if you go in the corner into light, so you go S into light, this jails against vanish. So the only thing they can do against that is reflect. And then again, you've got the 50-50 for your opponent. Are you going to go for that, or are you going to grab? And it actually legitimately opens up his command grab as a reversal. And that's corner only, but it's still very, very powerful, because the opponent just has to either hold it or guess, essentially. Now do be aware, obviously, I'm talking like he's got, like, he's still unsafe. Like, if they block all the mix-ups, he's got the Kaioken recovery. But it is something, it's a tool that he has. You might as well make the most of all of them best you can. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If I've left anything out, I might add it to the comments if I think of some later. There's lots of different things you can do with Kaioken. It's really cool, and I do hope that maybe he gets. I don't know if he needs buffs, but maybe there's something that he needs extra. I would like more damage on his command grabs. They're just a little bit lackluster, but other than that, I mean, he's a pretty cool character overall. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and I'll see you next time.